that brought them to me this morning. And so the first one, this old pair, you can tell right now, it doesn't close all the way, so it's not going to cut properly. So I'm going to adjust it by taking some material off of this part of the handle. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that first. We're going to do some adjustments on them first, and then we'll go from there. We're getting there. We're getting them closer to closing. This is an old pair of scissors. Hey, Chris, I saw that y'all had the ambulance out this morning. Y'all parked somewhere sharpening? Oh, this is the buck tool. This is the buck tool 1x30. I'm adjusting the handles on these scissors. They weren't closing all the way, so I'm taking a little material off the handle. Oh, cool. I still want them to close a little bit more. I don't know why you couldn't open them. They're just plain Word documents. Did you not have Word, uh, Microsoft Word on your computer? There we go. So we got them to close all the way now. A little bit more. I want to see if I can get that tips across there. Okay, so there you go. You can't open them on your phone. You'll have to open them on a computer with Microsoft Word. I think they have a Word version for your phone because I can open on my iPhone. All right, so that's all we wanted to do there is get those to close. I think all the rest of them close good. That one closes good. That one probably could use a little bit. See right there at the tip? All right, so let's take some. Well, all I'm doing is taking material off right here to get them to close before we sharpen them. I probably should have done this before I put the camera on, but anyway, you guys get to see what happens sometimes on these old industrial scissors to get them to cut really good. See, the tip needs to close. They won't close all the way. I think that's probably good enough. There we go. Can you see it now? So now they close. I got two more pair over here. Let's check them out. That one closes good. That one does not close good. I'm gonna take a little bit of material off of this one also. There we go. That one's closing good too. All right. So that was some pre-work before we sharpen. Like I said, I should have done that before I turned the camera on. So I've got 6 sets of heavy duty scissors from a local sail maker. I'm real close to Galveston Bay. So I don't have any canvas, but this is heavy duty automobile carpet. And you can see it cuts, but not great. So we want to make them better than that. Cody, what's going on, buddy? All right, there's our angle. All right, I got a burr all the way across the blade, so I'm happy with that. All right, looks good anyway. Whether it cuts good or not, I don't know. We're going to find out. I told him to bring me some of the sail material next time so I can keep it in my supply. I have a couple of custom surfboard makers, and I sharpen their scissors for them. And they use a different type of fiberglass than I had. I see that inside line. I don't think I have the angle right. Yeah, I got a burr. Just didn't look right. I'm gonna do a couple more passes. It's kind of somebody sharpened these before, and they've got multiple angles on them. I can tell they've been free-handed. And that creates waves in that blade when they freehand it. All right, let's see what we got here. Got to flip that burr back over. And on these big scissors like this, I just like to use a little block of pine to take that burr off. All right, I'm gonna clean them before I try them. Oh man, much better. There's pair number one. Let's do these next. Trying to find something more like a canvas in my bag of test material. See, it doesn't cut that at all. It'll cut the carpet, but the thinner material they won't cut. You can see this one, you can see how many angles this has on it. So somebody freehanded the last time they sharpened these. 25 people watching. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. We got something going on. My internet's going on and off. All right, we got the angle now. I got to burr about half the blade. And that's where doing freehand creates waves in that blade. I want a nice consistent burr across that blade. I think I got it pretty well straightened out. I didn't know they had a dedicated scissor machine, Chris. I'm gonna have to see that when you get it. Send me pictures of it, videos of you using it. The twice as sharp works well, but the clamp is just a pain. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. This has got 3 different bevels on it. I probably should have got out the 100 grit stone. This is the 240 diamond wheel on this machine. I've got a second twice as sharp with the regular, more aggressive wheel. That's probably what I should have used on these big scissors, but I think they're going to come out okay. He said they hadn't been sharpened in years. And also got some glue on this. I'm gonna have to clean these off with goo gone here in a minute. Let's see if we can get them. All right, guys, y'all hold on one second. I'm gonna go clean these a little bit. All right, I got some of the glue off of them. Hey, Larry, what's going on in Michigan today? All right, feels better. Well, let's see if it'll cut this material. And look at that. See where it would not cut this before. Now it'll cut the thinner material. And let's watch it cut this carpet. It cut it, but it wasn't clean. Now it's fantastic. All right, there's 2 done. 4 more to go. It cuts. It's very, very tough to cut that material. Drop off. Drop off. We're real close to the bay here, Galveston Bay. And so he came from a little town called Kemah, which is just to the east of us, about, I don't know, less than 5 miles. But there's a lot of boats and a lot of marinas down in there. I've had a couple of sail makers over the years. Yeah, mosquitoes in here. Yosef, how are you? All right, I think we got the angle. This is another pair. It's got multiple angles on it. You get a cleaner angle. You know, when you're doing it on the flat hone, you really can't put these in your clamp. You're freehanding it on the flat hone, and you'll create a little wave in that bevel, and it really needs to almost be a knife edge on there. And so keeping it straight across the blade is better, in my opinion. So now I've got a consistent burr. I have done sewing scissors and industrial scissors on the flat hone. Well, you saw me do it just recently. I did a pair on there. It doesn't cut as well. It's okay, but it's not doesn't cut as well, in my opinion. This is my dedicated sewing scissor, twice as sharp. I've got the 240 diamond wheel on it. It creates a really sweet edge for sewing scissors. The sewing ladies really like when I sharpen their scissors. I got a little thin burr right there, a little thinner, so I want to even that out a little bit. All right, so now I've got a consistent feel for that burr all the way across the blade. Even grind. And so now I want to push that burr back. Get out your little pink stone and just run that burr back up. And you can feel the burr with your pink stone there. All right, let me clean them real quick. Beautiful. Beautiful cut. All right, that's three more to go. So these are the ones I had to adjust the handle on because they weren't closing all the way. And you can see like that, look at that. That won't cut at all. And it'll cut this, but not all the way. See how it basically tears the fabric? So I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Gotta put a little bit more light on it. So that's not even a bevel. It's like it's bowed. There's like three different grinds right there. Somebody used a grinder and free-handed this to try to put an edge on it. I mean, it probably worked for a little while, but it's not going to be a clean cut when you do that. And these got gum all over. I'll sharpen them and I'll clean them up. Yeah, you'll see a lot of it. You know, it's how you win customers. You know what I mean? They see how well you sharpen something and they're happy, and how well their tools cut. And I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm gonna have to find a medium angle here because there's so many bevels on this thing. How much play do you have in that arm if you have to away from the wheel and lift up and down? I'm not sure what you really mean, Chris. I mean, I don't have much play in it. You can see that you're talking about this. I mean, it's stable. You can see how stable it is. You can buy an arm. You can. You can buy the arm separate from Wolf. And I think you can just buy the parts to rebuild it too. Call Wolf Industries. They're always super helpful. I think they have a rebuild kit for the arms, bushings and everything. $52 people watching. Do me a favor, tell me where you're watching from, and also hit that thumbs up button. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. It does help our little business out down here in Texas. We make a few dollars every month from our YouTube channel, and that helps us buy abrasives and other disposable products that we use. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Look at the swoop in this blade. Can you see the swoop in the blade? This is going to be a fun one to get to cut right. Well, thanks for watching, Douglas from Kansas. All right, I've got a medium. Like I said, there's three beveled edges on this thing. I'm gonna do a pass and see if I can see what it looks like. This is terrible. And I can see the inside edge damage. I'm trying to get rid of that first. Abilene, Texas. That's right up the road. Sweden. Thanks for watching, guys. It's hard to say. If somebody else has sharpened them, Chris, you don't know what the angle. I mean, this is about 30 degrees right now. On the sewing scissors, I just mimic the last angle or try to get it a little bit steeper. Well, appreciate it, Douglas. Chris, I've got a spreadsheet somewhere that shows what the factory angles are supposed to be on most sewing scissors. I'll see if I can get it for you. I'll get it out to you. Well, once again, it's a guessing game. All right, there's these have glue on them, so I'm gonna have to go get the goof off. I'll be right back, and then we'll test them. All right, we got them. We got them better. Let's see. Let's see if they cut. Don't make a liar out of me. Thought it wasn't going to cut for a second there. These are pretty worn. So those are cutting good. All right, two more. Those aren't too bad. But you can see the multiple angles on this one. See there? Here's the factory angle, and then somebody flat topped it. So I need to find an angle somewhere in between for these. I've seen that on brand new Ginger sewing scissors. There'll be different angles for those scissors. I think they find a factory angle. You know, see that scratch mark? So that's probably right in the middle. All right, I think that's a good angle right there. And in Sweden where the Tormek is made? Oh yeah, so that's got a nice even burr all the way across that blade. No, not really. You'd create more heat buildup on there is what you don't want. I sharpened a lot of scissors on my Tormek for years, and it was a wider stone, but you know, that was a water bath on it too, so that makes a huge difference. But the Tormek is really hard to find an angle, the correct angle. I thought it was made in Sweden. I love my Tormek. I don't use it very much, but I still have it. I have all the attachments to it. Every once in a while, I'll sharpen a chisel, something like that, and I'll break out the Tormek. All right, I think we got a pretty good grind on this one. All right, so we got our burr, and I just want to push that burr forward. That's what our little pink stone is for. Well, that's a bummer. I try not to sell any equipment when I buy it. The only ones I sold back was those the Tukler 1x30s. I just didn't care for them, and I couldn't see myself using them for anything. So I did sell those. A lot of people wanted to buy my Tormek, and I won't sell it to them. And when people find out I have 3 AMKs, like, "Why don't you sell me one of those?" Nope. They're gonna stay right where they're at. All right, here we go. Let's try this one. Oh, man, look at that. That's pretty sweet right there. All right, we got one more pair. Trying to clean it up a little bit here. Last pair. Let's see how these cut. Oh, all right. No, let's guess it's not bad. I thought it had a bunch of glue on it. I guess it doesn't. A little bit. So look, see how uneven that is? Batista, good morning. I'll show you here in a minute. I got a bunch. And I have somebody bringing knives. Supposedly they're on their way with knives. But I'll tell you what, about half the people who contact me and say that, hey, they're going to bring something for me to sharpen, don't ever show up. I give them a window, and if they don't show up, that's it. They're done. So this has got multiple angles on it. Douglas, it took me, I've been doing it 11 years. So the first 5 years, I was still working full time. I quit my full time job in January of 2020 and started doing the sharpening full time at that point. I didn't have my intention was not to do it full time. I just never went back to work. And now I'm never going back. Hang on. I don't like that. Still got a little wave there. I just saw it in the light right there. And Douglas, you got to consider too, I'm in a densely populated area. And so you need a lot of people to make money. And I'm in a good area for that. I'm halfway between Houston and Galveston. So, and I'm in the town of League City, which is the largest city in Galveston County in terms of population, which is basically a suburb of Houston. All right, let me clean these. Douglas, you still there? Oh, 750,000. Yeah, you're golden, man. You're golden. You have that kind of population. So yeah, I mean, my intention was to go back to work, but COVID hit. And believe it or not, if COVID hadn't have hit, I probably still would have been working as a financial advisor because everybody was still Dog groomers were still doing everything. Um, People were still cutting hair, and sharpening knives exploded during COVID because everybody was cooking at home. And so I did a ton of knives during the pandemic. And so that kind of pushed me over the top and said, I'm not going back to work. All right. So we got these done. We got all of those done. And Chris, this is what I got to do next. So I got one pair over there. So I got one, two, three, four, five, six pairs of grooming shears to do next. And then I got my clipper blades over here soaking. All right, we can take them out now. Let the clipper blade. So that's what I got to do, and plus some knives. Yeah, Chris, 5,000. That's going to be tight for you if you don't go out and hit those outer lying towns. But I would think there'd be a lot of industrial sharpening and stuff like that. The farmers and stuff, FFA and clipper blades for those folks. Fantastic. Yeah, clipper blades. Can't wait. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all watching. I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'm gonna get after the grooming shears. I might turn the camera back on later. Hope you guys have a good